A decade ago, Canadian researchers predicted that milder temperatures caused by climate change would lead black-legged ticks from America to migrate northwards. They were right. As the tick population has expanded, so too has the threat of Lyme disease in Canada, a disease that can be fatal. 10 years ago, just 10 people were diagnosed. Now it's around 1,000 a year, with many cases still going unreported. Sian Griffiths is taking no chances.
It's as though I'm in Thailand trying to fend off malaria-carrying mosquitoes. I'm in a long-sleeve shirt and my trousers are tucked into my socks. I've got proper shoes on, not flip-flops. I'm covered in bug repellent. That might sound like overkill for downtown Ottawa on a warm day. I'm only going to the woods. I'm trying to protect myself against black-legged ticks. They can be lethal because they carry the bacteria which causes Lyme disease. It's not something you want to catch. The symptoms include joint pain, fatigue, facial paralysis, heart conditions, and, in extreme cases, death. I'm just not taking any chances. I meet up with Dr. Kulkarni, also dressed in long-sleeve clothing, at the local community centre. She's a medical entomologist or bug detective. We wander down the river to what she's warned me is prime tick territory, a local urban forest. Canadians have long learned to live with nuisance-biting bugs, but research shows that a changing climate is bringing in more harmful and potentially lethal bugs into Canada. Canadian government scientists say that Canada is warming twice as fast as the rest of the planet. That's right, twice as fast. This means Canada has become a more welcoming place for these ticks to settle, reproduce, and infect. Dr. Kulkarni is on the front line of the battle against this invasion. We stopped just short of the entrance to the woods to avoid tick contact. They're just poppy seed-sized and hard to spot. They don't fly, they just sit and wait. They climb up to the top of a blade of grass or a leaf, Dr. Kulkarni explains, and then they put their legs in the air and wave them around. That's when they can latch onto someone like me and do their damage. Dr. Kulkarni warns that with any emerging disease, there's always a learning curve among the medical community. Some doctors here have struggled to identify what is, for here anyway, a new illness, which can look a lot like the common flu. These occurrences should become rarer as Canadian society learns to live with Lyme. Dr. Kulkarni is assessing the scale of the invasion by using a decidedly low-tech, white flannel sheet. She drags it over vegetation, capturing bugs. I suggest that people might be expecting something slightly more sophisticated. Our more high-tech stuff happens in the lab, she says, smiling. Dr. Kulkarni trained at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. She's battled malaria in Africa and Zika in Latin America, but as a mother of 2 young children, fighting an emerging threat at home feels different. I live in the risk area. We hike in these forests. We're on these trails. It has more relevance. For me, it's been a really eye-opening experience. Climate change doesn't just mean more heat waves, she says. It means infectious diseases are going to be coming in new places and environments and faster than we thought they were going to be coming, she says before warning, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I was keen to meet people who had first-hand experience of Lyme. I'd read about the case of Jenny Willis, a U.S. Army veteran. Her family has had not one, but 2 very unpleasant encounters with a black-legged tick. She's relieved that Dr. Kulkarni is on the case. It's great she's on the home team, she says. Her husband, a Canadian diplomat, fell ill after returning from a camping trip in the United States, where the family was posted and where Lyme disease is endemic. Jenny thought it was summer flu. 2 weeks later, her otherwise fit 38-year-old husband went into cardiac arrest. The Lyme bacteria had set up camp in his heart, keeping it from working properly, she recalls. The bug might have killed him if he hadn't been in the cardiac ward of a top U.S. hospital. They never found a tick, nor any sign of a bite. Then Jenny and her family moved to Canada, hoping to have left the toxic ticks behind. It seems they're part of the welcome committee, she says, rather frustrated. Her 2-year-old daughter ended up being bitten in what should have been the safe haven of their back garden. They never found the tick, but Grace did end up with Lyme's telltale bullseye rash. One would think an Afghan war veteran wouldn't scare easily. It's terrifying. Honestly, she reflects.
Sian Griffiths.